Hi guys, Trinity here. So today I want to do a review of Tarot of the Hidden Realms. And where else to do it but in the woods. Okay guys, so I thought this would be a perfect setting to review my thoughts on this deck now that I've had it maybe a week. I haven't had it that long, but let me show you the cards. I'm going to scooch these down here, so pardon me for one quick second. Okay. So I've only had this deck about a week now, but I am going to review it anyway. I love the backs of the cards. It's part of what drew me into this deck to begin with. I think it's cool. It reminds me of a dragon. There are a lot of systems out there. As I've said before, the Marseille, the Lenormand, the Thoth, the Rider-Waite. I would say this is closest to the Rider-Waite, however. I've heard a lot of people say that they shied away from this deck specifically because their imagery is kind of, I don't know if you could see, close up. And a lot of people don't really care for that because if they don't have like a background with people doing things in the picture, it makes it a little bit more difficult for your intuition and logic to kind of combine and, you know, work together so that you can give a proper reading. However, and I do understand and appreciate that, this deck really, if I was to say what system is it closest to, I would absolutely say Rider-Waite. But it still has its own personality. If you're looking for a deck to teach you how to properly read with the Rider-Waite, this probably wouldn't be the one to train you with, but once you're familiar with the Rider-Waite system, you would understand the cards. Okay? So I was just going to do, like, I did an unboxing, of this video, and I was thinking, you know, I'll come out into the woods and I will do a review of my thoughts since I started to kind of play with it. Okay. If you hear birds, dogs barking, or anything, I'm in the woods, guys. That's where this deck should be. So I love that the artist, I believe it was Julia, she really pulled something from her imagination, or however she did it, maybe meditation, maybe a dream, maybe just thoughts. And anyway, I love the deck. I love the ideas behind it. I had fun playing with these and looking through them. They're very colorful, and they do make me feel like they're in a realm of their own. So, the close-up, some people really don't care for because, as I said, it's a little harder. You want to see body language, not just facial expressions, right? Some people do. But if you pay attention to your intuition and you look at these pictures, they'll guide you in the right direction. And Barbara Moore did a really excellent job, by the way, on the guidebook. It was just phenomenal. I mean, wow. Each card very deep, very in-depth, sort of information in there. Very, very good. So I'm going to tell you what I see that I find interesting in some of these. So, like here, the Nine of Pentacles. Normally in the Nine of Pentacles, it's depicted as somebody who is like one with the earth. Somebody, excuse me, who is at the top of their game financially. They're getting there. They're working hard. Now, This is more an upper picture of the body, so you're not really getting, you know, a background pic of, say, her working on something or admiring. What she is admiring is, this is the Nine of Pentacles, it's not a court card, but what I see when I look at this is she's appreciating all that's around her, that she's accumulated, all the things that are precious to her are life itself, not just the money. See? Oh, what did I skip? Okay, now here's another good example. This one would be the Six of Swords. So in the Rider-Waite deck, I didn't bring one with me out here in the woodsy realm. The Rider-Waite deck, the Six of Swords would be a boat with like a ferryman and a couple of people in the boat, okay? And they're drifting away like they're leaving something behind. They're going on a trip. They're taking some needed space. This, to me, would represent, instead of the boat, she's in a realm of her own. She walks alone. She feels freedom. She sees freedom. It's freedom from something. She feels glorious just by herself. Now, I did read some of the book. That was nothing that I read in the book. I'm just saying what I see when I look at it. This one is the Seven of Pentacles. Now, if you notice, she's pregnant. Okay. Seven of Pentacles is the one with the man leaning on the shovel, and he's got the bush next to him with all the coins in it, if you remember correctly. Okay. That's him not being sad, looking and watching at what he's grown and what he's done and what he's accumulated over time, but not really being entirely satisfied with it. In this depiction of the Seven of Pentacles, it shows she's pregnant. So she's accomplished things and she is appreciating it. And in the deck of the Hidden Realms here, facial expressions are more important than the body language, so you're only going to see a little body language, if any. Okay? Temperance. Here's a major. Typical Rider-Waite imagery. Not typical, but, you know, same theme is going on. This one does have more body language in the majors. I think you get a little more. She's tempering the water. She's balancing. She's by a stream. There's dragonflies around her. I like the touch in that. The Empress. Ah, now what a beautiful Empress. She sits down in her wheat field. You can clearly see the wheat in her hand. She's gathering for a harvest that she probably has every day, because the Empress has everything. Butterflies flock around her. This one is very captivating, I have to say. Right? Right, guys? So this one is the Seven of Wands. Now, normally the Seven of Wands would be a guy standing on, looks like a ledge with a wand in his hand, and he's facing down like he has leverage. He has the ability to hold his own. And he's also defending his home, his family, his friends, his lover. This, to me, would represent, you know how like a cobra would, to protect himself, kind of sway upward and open his flaps and spread his wings, so to speak? That's what I feel like she's doing. Okay. This would show me the Ten of Pentacles. This is a very accomplished man. You could see by his fur that he has many things. He's got money. He's holding a big gold coin in his hand, so he's definitely not hurting for money. And behind him, to me, looks like gravestones of those before him that passed, that he's visiting generations of family. Now this one would be difficult if you were trying to learn the Rider-Waite system. The Six of Wands. There are 6 little baby pixies flying around her face. So instead of wands, they're showing pixies because this is in the forest. And without making it too confrontational looking for a realm of a fairy, it's pixies helping defend her, protecting her. Oh wait, this is a 6. Yeah. So they're rejoicing for her, is what it is. They're following her. They're worshiping her, pretty much. These cards, the Three of Wands. So this would be moving somewhere together, like moving up in life, going somewhere, whether it be changing jobs or, you know, moving forward with life and family and love. Knight of Pentacles, beginning to learn how to use your hands and your tools and your mind. This one's 8 of Pentacles. He's clearly working. What was that one? Knight, yeah. Okay, this is one of my favorites. This is one of the cards that drew me in, the Nine of Swords. Now, if you look at that, that tree looks like a claw wrapping around her. Like she is just, she cannot see her way out of the forest. It is foggy, it is dark. She doesn't care, she's miserable, and she's just planning on staying there. She doesn't care what eats her, what gets her. She's so overwhelmed with grief that she's pissed off. You know, she's just disgusted. This one is like pure rage energy. Being really, really taken advantage of. Being really upset, hurt, just completely dishonored in every aspect of the way. So, people were talking about also that the kings in this deck, and I did notice this and it bothered me. You can look at a knight that's young like this and that's fine. And here's another knight. They're very young. But a lot of people don't like to see this. A young king. Because kings are generally not young. However, these are not any kings. These are fairy creature kings. They don't age. Now, once again, I only read a little bit of the book, so whatever I'm telling you, I'm not suggesting is coming out of the book. I'm using my own words of what I believe. The Hermit, they used a female this time. And I thought that was very interesting because they always show a male. This is like a crone, and she is off on her own, living off of nature, not needing anybody. She's ahead of the game. 5 of Swords. The Star. Hope. This is an interesting rendition on death. It just is like falling to your fate. You could clearly see, to me, it looks like she's falling. Her hair's blowing upward. It's like her spirit and the raven or crow are one. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to show you a few cards, and like, he's a teacher, he's the Hierophant. You could clearly see he's a leader. He's an elderly man, wise, spiritual, maybe medicinal. But at any rate, guys, I wanted to show you this deck, and I wanted to make the review out in the woods because I think it's more appropriate for the Hidden Realms. As I said before, it is a beautiful deck. I love the backs. They drew me in. I think it's fantastic. It's fabulous, and you know, I would recommend it. It's a very deep deck, though. Just be prepared. It's very deep. When you do readings, I have only really used these for myself so far, and I've been studying them. I haven't got all the way through the guidebook yet, but when you read these cards, at least for me anyway, I understand them just by their expressions, and it's like they speak. Perfect addition to my family. Love you guys. More videos to come. Have a good night.